from January to date, using parliament and getting a strong political will from His Excellency the President. How many political scandals have you gotten?
Zero.
How many corruption cases have we received? How many corruption scandals have we seen under President Mahama from January to date? You don't need special prosecutor to fight corruption. All you need is to get an open speaker seated in this chair, opening parliament to investigate every case. Mr. Speaker, that's what you stood for. And that's why we are achieving this. Mr. Speaker, I'm a cabinet minister. President Mahama has told all the cabinet ministers, and including all his ministers, like, look, as for me, I'm here. Anybody who go and commit any scandal, I'll fire you. That alone has put a scare on all of us. Everybody is ruling with diligence. Everybody is ruling with critical, ethical governance principle. He himself is saying,
listen.
Mr. Speaker, he himself, he's always concerned about the future in this country. So, Mr. Speaker, we don't need a special prosecutor. When Mama Yarga criticized the establishment of that office, he was the first victim. You don't have to personalize that office. Using state office to chase your critics. Mama Yarga criticized the establishment of special prosecutor's office, and he was the first victim there. It took him for buying ambulance for his place. He was taken for so many times before a successor special prosecutor came and said there was no, that it was not a case merit of casing, and he won it. That's because, so why did you put him through all those ordeals when he did not do anything wrong? Because he criticized the establishment of that office. The same way, lawyer Martin Kwebu also criticized the current one, and he is running after him with the whole special prosecutor's office. Mr. Speaker, if even as I stand here talking now, Mr. Speaker, is it that we cannot criticize state offices? Yes, Mark, in fighting corruption. You don't create bureaucracies and think that you are fighting corruption. You don't create bureaucracies and think you are fighting corruption. Mr. Speaker, on that note, my colleagues on the other side, I have now seen clearly that in the corruption debate, in fighting corruption, we are far better than them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. That you did not need the special prosecutor before you can fight corruption. And Right Honorable Speaker, the records are there between we and them, and the modus operandi are there. In 2015, when Ghana achieved 48 out of 100, we didn't have special prosecutor. It was by President Mahama. In 2014, when Ghana achieved 47, we didn't have a special prosecutor. It was under President Mahama. In fighting corruption, the Transparency International Corruption Perception Index records are clear, and the difference between we and you is clear. Without a special prosecutor, Right Honorable Speaker, your good self, in 2017, when we were 106 and they were 169, the super majority did not begin today. They were 169. The distinguished emeritus Professor Makokwe, seated in this chair, he supervised it. And I know, if for nothing at all, speakers of parliament are independent. Even to unseat them, you need 3/4. It's the most difficult thing to do. So nobody tied his hands. He had 169 members. We were here. We raised every argument. You even started for independent prosecutor. Before you were whitewashing it, before you arrive at the special prosecutor, the Hansard is there to bail us out. We said everything. We said everything. Oh. Right on. You see? Right, Honorable Speaker. You see? Clearly. Oh. I've said that the difference in fighting corruption between we and you is clear. And right, Honorable Speaker, you remember, you said it, that the special prosecutor, as a second deputy speaker then, Mr. Speaker, your good self, you made a superior argument there, here, that the special prosecutor was not coming to serve any good purpose. I still remember. The Honorable Muhammad Yariga made similar argument. We were perceived as if we did not want the special prosecutor and we did not want to fight corruption. We said, do it and let us see. How many of your colleagues are there?
Where's the finance
aside? Mr. Speaker, even your presence in the chair and your opening of parliament to fight corruption alone was able to help fight corruption more than even the special prosecutor. If parliament would do its work well, when they had the 169, we were just here. Every law that came, every opposition we staged, they would tell you, put the question. They had the numbers. That is what you did. But Mr. Speaker,
so why are you crying?
Under your leadership,
So why are you crying?
this good parliament in the 8th parliament,
Is there corruption?
you reduce parliament to fighting corruption and making sure that the few eroded democratic dividend that was eroding, you restored it. And that is how this parliament became the most open parliament in Africa. Was that by the special prosecutor? No. So, Mr. Speaker, we were just here. Is Professor Okwe telling us today that when we were passing the special prosecutor law, he didn't know what we were doing? He knew. So yesterday, to him, when he was saying that we did not need that one, that he opened a private members bill, so we could come by private members bill to trash it out. Mr. Speaker, I will even go for that. But before I get there, President Mahama will not come and say that he's bringing a law to take special prosecutor away. You have just started saying that we don't want to fight it. This House, Mr. Speaker, can come with a private members bill and trash it out. That is the window open to all of us. But Mr. Speaker,
yes, several institutions, Senate and others, conduct criminal prosecutions. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, the question which arises is whether or not the office of the special prosecutor is exercising delegated prosecutorial powers. Mr. Speaker, the answer to that, I think, is still at large, and I'll leave it at that. But in any event, Mr. Speaker, it is this parliament that enacted a law to establish the office of special prosecutor. That's said. And by that, I say that I do not have today conclusive answers to the legal questions. They were deliberated upon. They may not have been grounded. They may have been grounded. But the intention and the intent of President Akufo-Addo and his government is one that I believe we should celebrate, which is that he intended to set up an office dedicated to fighting corruption. Mr. Speaker, today, the question, has the office of special prosecutor 8 or 9 years down the road achieved results? Or, Mr. Speaker, do they have any significant achievements when it comes to the fight against corruption? Those are matters before this House. Those are matters before the country. Those are matters that I believe the jury is out there. Has it been a successful office? Has it not? Mr. Speaker, the question is at large, and we all have a take on it. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the leader of government business, the leader of this House, the majority leader, has had cause to rise up in this house to indicate that the office of special prosecutor is not an office which is fit for purpose. The Speaker, he's even gone a step further. He's gone to the extent of indicating that the office of special prosecutor is an unconstitutional body. It's an unconstitutional office. That's exactly the point the majority leader is making. That the existence of the office of special prosecutor is at variance with the provisions of our national constitution. The Speaker, 1 year down the road, they build an office. They have a super majority. What are they telling us? What are they telling us? The Speaker, this country, with the greatest respect, is sick and tired of talk. Talk. The leader of government business is not just the majority leader. He's a leader of government business. He's a leader of this house. He sits in cabinet. The Speaker, he has indicated that when the bill was tabled before this house, he as member of parliament, member of the 8th parliament, the Speaker, he said he opposed the establishment of the office of special prosecutor. And he indicates that his party, the NDC, opposed the establishment of the office of special prosecutor. I have just indicated the policy rationale or the policy motivation for the establishment of that office by the Akufo-Addo government. The Speaker, you yourself, you've indicated that you were also opposed to it. The Speaker, today, the political party that opposed the establishment of the office, the member of that political party who opposed it in the 8th parliament, today majority leader, leader of government business, in the wisdom of the Ghanaian people, they have given them a super majority. Super majority. They have majority in this house. They have a super majority. Why? What's happening? What's happening in our country, Mr. Speaker? You just made that point about allocation. And you made a point about reset and the fact that we may struggle with the reset. Too much talking. The country needs action. If you believe the office of special prosecutor is not fit for purpose, you have the majority, you call us micro minority, we are mighty minority indeed. Repeal it. What are you waiting for? 1 year down the road, we are still being given sermons and being given lectures and being told that this office is unconstitutional. Mr. Speaker, because with the greatest of respect, one of their own was touched. Because one of their own was touched. And Mr. Speaker, you just made that point not too long ago, that we should be careful when we enact laws and when we apply the laws. Mr. Speaker, because when you're on the right-hand side of the speaker, and certain actions are being taken, Mr. Speaker, many a times we just tend to think that it will not affect us. So, Speaker, needless to point out that the history is here. The history is there for us to appreciate that the law on causing financial loss to the state, so, Speaker, is only caught up with people or persons from the side which passed the law, which is why the point the Speaker made is a very important point. The law, when it's respected and when it's applied fairly, works for all of us, regardless of where you find yourself. Of course, lawyer Martin Pebu is somebody I know very well. And indeed, yesterday, Mr. Speaker, when I heard the news that he had been arrested by the Office of Special Prosecutor, I even attempted to reach out to him. But it should never be the case, Mr. Speaker, that when Wuntumi is arrested and put behind bars and told to bring bail conditions of 100 million Ghana cedis, and he stays in prison for 1 month, 2 months, Mr. Speaker, when we all know too well that basic teaching of law, criminal law, tells you that bail should never be used as a form or a means of punishment. That one, it is okay. Mr. Speaker, when OSP is still in custody today because he's been subjected to onerous and reasonable bail conditions which he cannot meet. Mr. Speaker, he's been told to satisfy a bail condition of 650 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, that one is fine. When bail should not be used as a tool of punishment. We didn't hear the majority leader. Mr. Speaker, when several other people, look, Mr. Speaker, we have seen it in this country several times. Government changes, and then some of these measures are put in place. Political opponents are put behind bars. When Paul Adumochi was arrested by the OSP, the Office of Special Prosecutor, because allegedly Paul Adumochi had been critical of the office, when he was arrested and put behind bars, Mr. Speaker, and some of us raised our voices, the majority leader's voice and the majority side was mute. Because today, it is lawyer Martin Kwebu. Mr. Speaker, when the law is applied unfairly against Wuntumi, it is bad. When it's applied unfairly against Osei, it is bad. When it's applied against Paul Adumochi, it is bad. When it is applied against Martin Kwebu, Mr. Speaker, it is indeed bad. We make laws and make good laws to the best of our ability for all of us, and we respect the law for all of us. Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude. Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude by indicating that what happened yesterday is a wake-up call to all of us. That when the law is applied unfairly against a citizen, it doesn't matter whether he's from the north or the south. Mr. Speaker, it doesn't matter whether he's an NDC member or an MPP member. Let us insist, that is our only safeguard, that if the Honorable Mahama Yarga is suspected to have committed an offense, he should be taken through proper due process. His rights should be respected. If it is Abu Jinapo, I should be taken through due process. My rights should be respected. Mr. Speaker, that is the only way we can build a civilized, prosperous nation. That's the only way. It should not be the case that the Office of Special Prosecutor suddenly should be scrapped because Martin Kwebu is being taken through a raw deal. No. And I conclude, Mr. Speaker, with this quote. With this quote by Martin Niola. And I quote, Mr. Speaker, he said of Nazi Germany, first they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out. They came for the unionists, and I did not speak out. They came for the Jews, and I did not speak out. And when they came for me, there was no one to speak.
106 minority member in this house. Right Honorable Speaker, your good self, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, who was the then minority leader, the Honorable Mahama Yarga, who was the then chairman of the subsidiary committee of this house, before he became the chairman of the Constitutional and Legal Committee, ranking. Right Honorable Speaker, your good self, we made extensive, superior debate